In 1925, the Maryland State Normal School at Salisbury opened to a group of juniors and seniors preparing to become teachers. These future Maryland educators would need a well-rounded education based in the liberal arts. Our mission is to help students set goals for lifelong learning, to think about what it means to be a citizen and a member of a community, and of course everybody is very much concerned about their professional formation. As the school grew and on several occasions changed its name, the number of programs increased, but liberal arts remained central to the overall educational experience. In the mid-1980s, President Thomas Bellavance aimed to enhance Salisbury's image with some of the characteristics of private colleges.
He thought that endowed schools would show more like a private university than the public school that Salisbury University was. So it was really a way to build the notoriety of the university.
In 1985, the Fulton School of Liberal Arts had 1,108 undergrad and graduate students. In fall 2014, that number had grown to 2,176. This is a 96% increase in Fulton School majors during this time period. In 1985, there are 11 undergraduate majors and 3 graduate programs for Fulton School students. In 2014, students could choose from 18 undergraduate majors and 4 graduate programs, including 1 post-baccalaureate certificate.
I remember the first speech he gave was to make this have a small school feel like a William and Mary with a liberal arts emphasis, and that was his dream, and I think he realized his dream.
President Bellavance began the search for major gifts from donors interested in endowing the schools. In 1986, the Purdue family endowed the School of Business. In 1988, the Henson family endowed the School of Science and Technology. In 1989, Charles R. and Martha N. Fulton endowed the School of Liberal Arts. And in 1996, the Seidel family endowed the School of Education and Professional Studies.
I'd like to specifically thank Charles and Martha for endowing the School of Liberal Arts and for enabling us to enrich and embellish the academic programs of the university.
The ironic thing is they tore down the gym and built an arts building. So, I mean, when does that ever happen, right? The other side of that is that all those trees out there in front of the lawn used to be on the islands in the parking lot. When else have we heard that a parking lot was plowed up and grass was planted? So that was a good start.
The endowment has helped to support curricular innovation, including our reform, and more recently, experiential learning opportunities, citizenship education, and international education.
Well, Charles Fulton had no direct ties to the university. His wife, Martha, come here and gotten her education as a teacher here. They both were connected with Salisbury when it really was a place that trained teachers. They donated a significant portion of their stock to set up the central endowment for the Fulton School, and that was a very courageous and wonderful act for them to do, and lots of good has been done here because of that.
As the school and university grew, the endowment allowed us to reach for higher standards of excellence.
I think the Fulton School is part of the general education curriculum. That's what it is. And so when you think about what you learn at a university and what you learn when you go get a degree, a lot of that is embedded in the Fulton School. To me, the Fulton School is the epitome of a college education. It's that liberal arts education.
At Salisbury University, we believe that the liberal arts gives students the types of critical thinking skills, analytical skills.
You know, the English, the political science, the philosophy, the communications. It's the creative and critical thinking and writing, and so that's what the Fulton School embodies.
The visual and performing arts are essential to our academic community.
Mrs. Fulton, for example, was a very strong supporter of theater and music and dance.
For us, it meant, for one, we would have our own facility. So the scene shop, the costume shop, all that stuff would be in the same spot. The performance space that we're in now would be ours, and we didn't have to compete for that space with other groups.
I know for me, glass is the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's that difficulty and that challenge that keeps me engaged with the material. And I think a lot of students respond to that. We're working with a material that's, over 2,000 degrees. We work molten glass at temperatures that are hotter than lava. The majority of our students, in fact, are not even art majors. The students come in, a lot of them in their last couple of years, and have an experience that they can't have just anywhere. And without fail, they all tell me, I wish I'd have taken it sooner.
I think we really work well together. I think the departments, I know art and music and theater and dance are very close, and we've done things collaboratively, so that has really helped, and you don't see that everywhere.
Fulton students have always learned both in the classroom and in the community.
The mission of the NAB Center has always been to assist in the education of students. The students could really profit by using local historical records to find out not only more about themselves, but more about the area in which they lived.
This gallery that we're sitting in right now was opened, I believe, in 1992 when the building opened. And that was the primary and continues to be the primary art gallery here on campus. Unlike this space, which is very much a part of the Fulton School, very tied to the curriculum, especially in the art department, as well as occasionally to other departments, that downtown space is really about connecting with the community. It's about taking what we're doing on campus and really bringing it to the larger community in Salisbury and the region. You know, of all the liberal arts, it's the one that can most possibly sort of change the way we think about the world.
PACE, our Institute for Public Affairs and Civic Engagement, was established in 1999 by doctors Harry Basehart and Fran Kane, and they both wanted to do something to combat student apathy when it comes to politics and community issues, provide forums and opportunities for conversations around public policy decisions, topics related to community issues and volunteerism. So they really wanted to establish a place where students could come and learn about issues, how they could become a more involved and educated citizen, because really that's the purpose of education.
Over the years, the school has expanded learning opportunities far beyond the shore to many other countries around the world. We've certainly been groundbreaking in terms of creating study abroad opportunities and well-supported study abroad opportunities, affordable study abroad opportunities for our students.
The first trip that I took with students to Ghana would be one of the more exciting moments. New faculty member being allowed to engage students in this sort of a way and to go over there and to have that trip be a success and to foreshadow subsequent trips by students and faculty to Ghana.
We already had a significant number of short-term study abroad opportunities, but we talked a lot about expanding the number of semester-long study abroad opportunities for our students.
I decided to come to Salisbury because it gave me the opportunity to learn about different cultures and learn a kind of different way of education.
Certainly a sustained study abroad experience gives you the opportunity to take courses, to really live abroad. The largest of the 4 SU schools, the Fulton School, normally accounts for about 40% of the university's credit hour production and 40% of the university's graduates.
But I think the biggest thing that we would hope to offer is opportunity.
This interesting balance of preparation for a career, at the same time there's a focus on liberal education. That's an unusual blend in a lot of and not a lot of institutions do that match as well as we do it here.
When I came here, we were in the process of completing a transition from 3 to 4 credits, and that additional credit is understood as what we call an enhancement, or at least initially we had described it as an enhancement, which could mean extra seat time.
That was our primary function. We wanted to help students understand the craft of history, how to write history, how to write cogent narratives. We wanted students to have an appreciation for the written word and for the history of this area and therefore the larger area.
The Fulton School of Liberal Arts plays a significant role in the experience of every Salisbury University student, and we partner actively with our 3 sister schools to make the SU experience second to none.
The classes that you take here at Salisbury, they're not big, and so especially when you get into a major, and I remember a lot of those courses that we took in communications, they were fun, and so they were very hands-on and interactive, whether you're taking a radio production class or a television production class or small group discussion or anything. I remember those classes being fun, and you didn't want to miss them, you just went to class.
I didn't feel forced going to these classes because I enjoyed what I was learning about. In its entirety, I appreciated the education I got here.
And coming back to the university as an employee now, I get to interact with some of the same faculty that were here when I was an undergraduate student, just on a different level. So it's really been a lot of fun.
It's kind of like a breath of fresh air when you walk into Fulton, I feel like, because it feels really relaxed, and I think that's a good thing in an artistic environment. You need to feel like you can be accepted and kind of think outside the box.
The most exciting thing that I do, I guess, every day is just the teaching, the opportunities that I am given to expose students to fantastic literature.
It's something that helps fulfill us in a way that nothing else really can. Nothing will affect us quite as viscerally as music.
There's more of a sense of community here and a lot more kind of school spirit, you could say, than there is at home, which I much prefer.
And so it just has that feeling that students have been there before and created things before the people that are creating stuff now. I feel like that, for me, really sets it apart. It just really feels like people have learned stuff in that building.
Fulton School's, I think, the jewel in the crown for the university. The center of liberal education is right here, and it was good to be a part of its development.
The Fulton School is at the heart of everything we do at Salisbury University.
I'd also like to say that it is our hope that this facility will serve those seeking higher education for generations to come. I would thank you all for coming and being here, and also thank you for letting me and my family participate in this beautiful project in the very, very small way that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Martha.